సార్కి చేసి తెలుసా, ఇన్ఫార్మ్ చేశారా?
Okay, very good morning, guys. Okay. Hey, there's nothing from my side to say here. I said only for your doubts. I just arranged the class only for the doubts. That's all. If you come out with any doubts, I can clarify you. There's nothing from my side to explain you. I taught everything to you. Yeah, both online and offline students. Any questions with any of the topic? Any doubts? Any confusions? Is a doubt clarification session. That's it. Online students, am I audible? Is anyone there online? Any doubts with all the subject what we discussed? Hey, no one is talking. Then why did you come to the session, man? I said this is a doubt clarification session. Is Angular mandatory to work with the .NET Core? No, not mandatory. I already updated last night only. The notes is updated already in the last night. Yesterday only updated the notes. We have a latest copy of the notes there. Both for job guaranteed students also, for MVC students also, for both full stack students also. I updated the notes already in the last class. Yeah, Angular is mandatory to work. Guys, it's not mandatory here, but having knowledge is good. Because when they ask you, you don't know. Suddenly you qualify in your interview, but you don't know Angular, can be one of the reasons to reject you also. So having knowledge on Angular, I say it's really important on it. React is not required. React is not required. Any one framework, either Angular or React. If you know Angular, fine. But if you know both, that's an added advantage. See, knowing anything is always an added advantage, man. When you go to interviews, if you know that, company can give you a special benefit for you. That's it. So, notes is not there. In process and out of process hosting. Just a second. See, this is the notes edited yesterday. See, it's below, present in the bottom here. I'm not pasting new links again. I'm just only copying the new copy. That's all. Deleting the old one and putting the new one. Java query, jQuery. jQuery వాడాలి alert box చేయడానికి. ఇప్పుడు మీకు యాంగులర్ వచ్చా, వెబ్ యాంగులర్ ఇంకా అవ్వలేదా? మీకు యాంగులర్ లో చెప్తాడు ఎలా కాల్ చేయాలో. నేను jQuery కోడ్ ఇచ్చాను కదా, jQuery కోడ్ ని యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా యాంగులర్ UI లో పేస్ట్ చేస్తే వచ్చేస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు యాంగులర్ పేజ్ ఉందా, కాంపోనెంట్ డాట్ CSHTML నేను చూపించాను చూసారా, నేను చెప్పిన jQuery కోడ్ ని యాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ గా అక్కడ రాసేస్తే వచ్చేస్తుంది అంటే. jQuery కోడ్ యాంగులర్ లోకి వచ్చేసరికి మీరు కోడ్ రాసే ప్లేస్ వేరే ఉంటది. ఇక్కడ మన CSHTML పేజ్ లో రాస్తాం, ఇక్కడ కాంపోనెంట్ డాట్ HTML అనే పేజ్ లో యాంగులర్ యూజ్ చేసి రాస్తారు. అదే మోడల్ విండో మీకు వచ్చింది అక్కడ విండో, అదే మోడల్ విండో అంటే. గ్రిడ్ మీకు వెబ్ ఫార్మ్స్ లో చెప్పాను కదా, వెబ్ ఫార్మ్స్ లో గ్రిడ్ అంటే వెబ్ ఫార్మ్స్. MVC అయితే మన సొంత గ్రిడ్ తయారు చేసేసుకోవడం అంతే. అరే మనం బోల్డ్ చేసాం కదా అప్లికేషన్స్, గ్రిడ్ అని లేదు అసలు మరి MVCలో. MVCలో గ్రిడ్ లేదు అంటే గ్రిడ్ వ్యూ లుక్ అంతే. అంతే, టేబుల్ తీసుకుని పేజింగ్ లో అవన్నీ కూడా యాడ్ చేయొచ్చు కింద. యా, యూ హ్యావ్ ద నోట్స్ దేర్ హియర్.
Here a variable by static and another variable by constant. It will be in the first one in this slide.
Both are same here. Static and constant are one and the same now. We already learned in the C# classes. Static, constant, both are one and the same. Both are initialized immediately once the execution starts. Constant is also static. Web API basic authentication, OAuth 1.0. These are basically the credentials that are applied by the companies on the server level. We know on the server level, they apply the authentication. If they apply that authentication, then you just require to. Basically, what we use is basic authentication. With no authentication, anonymous. OAuth authentication means they should enable it on the server. They should enable it on the server. Once that is enabled on the server, they provide you the credentials to you. And using those credentials, we can just log in. Means in the Postman, when you try this in the Postman, what is dependency injection? Dependency injection, that much clearly explained you in the classroom, and you are now asking what is dependency injection. See, doubt in the sense, see, sir, this topic I did not understand, I can give you clarity. But you're telling the complete topic, what is dependency injection? In dependency injection, you did not understand anything, I'll clarify you. Completely explained dependency injection is not possible. Guys, you can see here the authentication types will be there. So what type of authentication they enable for you? Okay. I'll tell you. Hold on. See what type of authentication it is enabled on the server. You're required to choose that authentication here. So use that authentication. Once you use that authentication, suppose you are using no auth generally. If you're using API key, you will be finding a suppose basic authentication. It will ask you for the username and password now. These things should be enabled on the server first. On the Azure or AWS, where is it hosted, that is enabled there. Then we use the user IDs and passwords here. That is all server level, guys. Code wise, we don't have anything. That's all server enabling. Code wise, we don't have that option. Yeah, just a minute. I have a question on the top. What is in-proc and out-of-process hosting model? Someone asked this particular question. In-process and out-of-process hosting model. Guys, in-process and out-of-process hosting model. In in-process hosting model, remember how many servers will be there? Only one server will be there. Directly, the client will be hitting the web server, where this web server can be IS or IS Express or third one, Kestra. And now this will be accessing your web application. This is called in-proc model. So in your Visual Studio, you are choosing IES or IS Express or Kestrel. All these things will be by default leading to in-process hosting only, because if you remember, by default, all our projects run in in-proc model only. The default hosting model is in-proc hosting model. Watch this. If you go to the properties here, and in the left-hand side, you'll see debug, and here you'll find it. Debug, open debug launch profiles UI. And if you scroll below, you'll find it. The default hosting model is in-process hosting model. The default hosting model is in-process hosting model. In-process hosting model means there will be only one server which will take the request and process the request. Who will take the request is IS, and who will process the request is also IS or IS Express or Kestrel. But if you change this to out-of-process hosting model, what is the hosting model now? Out-of-process. When you are changing to out-of-process hosting model, but here, what you are choosing? IS Express. What you are choosing? Now there are two servers which are going to process the things. One, IS Express, which will take the incoming request, and second one is Kestrel, which will process the request. Understand how many servers are there? Two servers are there. Out of process. So this is a client. The client request can be taken by IS or IS Express. And this will again hit the Kestrel. And now the Kestrel is the one which is going to process your application, the web application. So who will take the request? Kestrel won't take the request. Who is taking the request? IIS Express is taking the request. But who is processing the request? Kestrel is the one which is going to process the request. Kestrel will process the request. Means the application runs under Kestrel. The result was sent to IIS Express. IIS Express will send the result to client here. In the first case, see, who will take the request is also your IIS or IIS Express or Kestrel. Who will process the request is also the same. But here, the means this internet facing server. This is a internet facing server. This is facing the internet now. But this is a processing server. The processing server is Kestrel. And guys, remember, right now, what I'm doing here, IIS Express. When I run this, understand here, there are two servers which are running behind the screen now. How many? Two servers. One is the IIS Express, which is going to take my request. What's the address bar? 44301. This IIS Express port now. But this request is not processed by IIS. This request is processed by Kestrel. How to verify this? I said you open the task manager and watch. You'll find two servers. Go to the details. You'll be finding the two servers which are going to run for you. One is the Kestrel. The Kestrel server name is your project name only, right? Kestrel is running, as well as both are running. See, servers are running. The request is taken by IIS Express. Processing is done by Kestrel. But guys, observe this. Let me stop it. Once I stop it, check it out here. Once I stop the project, watch it, all of you. IIS Express is not in the list. Kestrel is also not in the list. Check it out. Core, web API, consumer, that is also not in the list. Both are not. Means when the servers are stopped. Here, I am choosing Kestrel. I'm choosing the Kestrel. I'm running the Kestrel. See now, the Kestrel server starts. If you go to task manager, you will find only Kestrel. You will not find IIS Express in the list. Watch it. Kestrel running. See, do you have IIS Express? Check. Nothing starting with IIS Express is available here. Please, what is the meaning? Kestrel is only taking the request and Kestrel is only processing the request. So you all should understand one point. What? Your hosting model is in process. Your hosting model is in process. And here you selected IIS or IIS Express or Kestrel. Whatever you select, that server will take the request, that server will process the request. Option number 2. Your hosting model is out of process. Your hosting model is out of process. But here you selected Kestrel. You selected Kestrel. Now also one server only. What is that? IIS Express only will take the request. IIS Express only, sorry. Kestrel will take the request and Kestrel will process the request. But you have out of process, but choosing here IIS Express. Two servers are in action. Who will take the request? IIS Express. Who will process the request? Kestrel. Why, sir? Because you set the hosting model as out of process. When it's out of process and you select a different server for execution, Kestrel will run in the background to process the request. So totally there are two separate servers here. One which is taking the request and one which is processing the request. Okay. How should I prepare for interviews as per subject work prepare interview? Don't prepare interview questions and answers. Yeah, that is wrong. So many people, FAQs. You can answer, you can, if you prepare FAQs, what is the problem is, you can answer that only if the question is asked like this. If it twisted the question, you cannot answer. Believe on yourself first. Prepare the subject. Understand the concept. If you understand the concept, how the question is twisted also, you can give an answer. But if you prepare interview point of view, always you can give your answers only if that question is asked like this. So that's why I don't believe in preparing based on the entry question. That's why I don't give FAQs. If anyone asks me also what I say is, you search and you prepare. I won't give. Prepare the subject, 100% will be succeed in entry. That's the guarantee I'll give you. Dependency is inversion of control. I'm clear with dependency. Inversion of control is a container name, that's all. Inversion of control is a container name. Inversion means reversing the control from one controller to another controller. In simple words, see, earlier we have just developed one web API service or web API service. Who is processing your requests? The requests are getting processed by XML, whatever class name, customer DAL, XML customer DAL, customer XML DAL. Yes or not? You can simply revert the control to another controller by changing the controller name in your program.cs now. You go to program.cs and right now, customer SQL DAL. The control is immediately transferred from XML DAL to SQL DAL. It is transferred from XML DAL to SQL DAL. Yeah, someone already asked about dependency injection on the top. That's what I'm telling you. Dependency injection advantage is, given you a straight away example to you there. What is it? I'm developing a product. And in this product, I'm using different kinds of databases now. One database is SQL Server. One database is MySQL. One database is Oracle. One database is MongoDB. What the difference are? Cost varies, guys. Cost varies. Cost varies between different database to database. If you ask for, see, you are purchasing a car. The car comes with a seat. The car comes with a seat. Okay. But on the seat, we have a seat cover. You ask for a fabric cover, cost will be less. You ask for a semi-leather resin, cost will be more. If you ask for a full leather seat, then cost will be high. Yes or not? See now, that is also dependency injection only. Easily customizable. The company doesn't send the car with a cover. The company sends the car only with a seat. Only with a chair. That's all. Only with a chair. What cover you want, you decide. And the showroom where you are purchasing, the dealer will arrange that for you. You ask, I just want to go for a leather cover. Okay, this is the amount you pay. He will just pick up the leather seatings for it and give you. No, that is not my budget. I cannot afford for that much amount. So I want to go with a semi-leather, resin, half leather, what they call resin. So cost will be less. No, I cannot afford for that. I'll go with the fabric. I'll go with the fabric cloth. Cost will be less. See, that is also dependency injection only if you understand correctly. See, when the product is coming to you, it's not going to be fixed for any particular type of cover. You can choose whatever you want. So dependency injection is also a similar concept. What is it? Which database to work with? I'm taking this an example. Which database to work with is your choice. Client can ask SQL Server. Client can ask Oracle. Client can ask MySQL. Client can ask MongoDB. Are you clear? You cannot develop an application separately for each client now. Same application should be customizable to all the people now. So what we do, we just have one class. We have different classes targeting different. The whole application will be same only. What will change? The DAL classes will change. I've written one DAL class targeting XML, correct? And I asked you to write a DAL class targeting SQL Server. Same way, another DAL class targeting Oracle. Another DAL class targeting MongoDB. Another DAL class targeting MySQL. So what the client can ask anything. All codes will be in my project now. I will have everything in my project. So client is asking, I cannot afford for Oracle. For me, MongoDB is okay. MongoDB is less cost. MongoDB is okay. So simply in my injector, what is the injector? Program is the injector. In the injector, if I change the class name, the whole application starts running targeting to MongoDB. If I change the class to MySQL, the whole application targets running to MySQL. It is easy. One modification. Three main. So this is another important question in interviews. What are the three main components in dependency injection? First one is kinda service. The first one is service. The service is the interface and the implementation classes. Second one, injector. The second one is the injector. The one who is going to inject. Program class is the injector. Third one is client. Who is the client? Controllers. All our controllers are the clients now. Are you clear? Your DAL classes are services. Program is injector. Program. If you're working on 5 startup, if you're working on 5 startup, if you're working on 6 program, don't forget it. Okay? If you have 5 architecture, startup is my injector. If it is 6 architecture, program is my injector. And third one, what is the third one? Client. The client is the one who is going to consume the appropriate things. Okay? And 3 different ways to register. Now tell. 3 different ways to register. Add singleton. Singleton means one instance for the whole application. Add scope. One instance for one request. One instance for one request. In that request, multiple methods can be processed. Third one is add transient. Transient means single call. One request, one instance for each call of each request. In one request, 2 methods are called, 2 method calls are there, 2 instances will be created there. Okay, and which one to choose? It depends. It's not like we cannot decide like also. Are you clear? In how many ways you can inject? All 3. Constructor injection, method injection, property injection. Fourth one I said you. Manual coding also I said you. Read the notes. Manual injection also I said you. Without using all these things, we can also go for using a manual injection also. That option also I said you. Crystal reports. Crystal reports are basically used for reporting here. Tomorrow, in your application, you want to create any report, we just use Crystal reports. Actually, Crystal reports is a third-party tool. It's not related with .NET at all. Crystal reports is a third-party tool, and you cannot, not at all related with .NET. So Crystal reports is a separate tool. If anyone wants to use the Crystal reports, they need to purchase, download, install, and use. One advantage is Crystal reports has an integration with the .NET. Crystal report has integration with the .NET. Okay, that is what Crystal reports is. But it's not built into .NET. It is a third-party tool for designing the reports in the industry. Apart from that, in SQL Server also we have reporting services to create reports. End of the day, you must design reports now. To design reports, you require to take the help of a tool. One of the most popular reporting tool in the market is Crystal reports. You need to purchase it, install it, and you can design the reports. Second thing is SQL Server has a built-in reporting service called SQL Server Reporting Services. You know that SQL Server comes with 4 services: database engine, reporting services, analysis services, integration services. So what you learn is a database engine, but it also has reporting services for creating the reports for the application. And that reports can be integrated with your .NET applications. These are reporting tools. As a .NET fresher, if anyone asks me in an interview, just perform CRUD operations on registration forms. In that situation, our choice, use anything in ADO.NET link. Yeah, it is your choice only, but before doing it, ask him better. So the question is, in an interview, if I'm asked to create a registration form and perform the CRUD operation, is it my choice to use ADO.NET or link to SQL? Basically, it is your choice, but still confirm from the interviewer what is expecting. Is expecting from you ADO.NET or expecting LinkQ or expecting entity framework. Okay, confirm and do it. But still, if you can do with any of the technology, no matter what is yesterday said you, he is not checking your knowledge. Yeah, the fresher is not expecting, directly tomorrow start developing application. They don't expect from you. So what this is, do you have some minimum knowledge and common sense in building an application or not? That is what they test. And if you can feel that you are good, and if you feel that you can learn, you will be taken up in the company. Okay, any technology you can just use, but still, because you learned all the 3 options I taught you all the 3 options to you, better confirm it. Suppose you're not confident You know only particularly, I know only linked SQL, sir, and I'm only good in directly develop off. But if you know all the three, you feel that I can develop in all the three. Better ask the client, what shall I use and develop? Using ADO.NET, you're expecting me, or linked SQL, or NT framework. That will give you a lot of confidence on you first. And second thing is, the interviewer also will have a lot of hope on you. What is it? You're asking, you can build an application in all the three now. So you have an excellent knowledge. Okay. If working two persons in same project, how to work, how to merge code. Actually, for this, we'll using some tools, guys. We'll be using some tools basically. Multiple people working in a project. Say, only one person will not work now. Today, mostly after the COVID, work from home started. People working from different places. How do they merge the code? How do they merge this particular code? Actually, the whole project means once your development is completed, initially guys, everyone will develop their own module. Initial stages, everyone will develop their own module. Suppose the application has 5 or 6 modules now. What happens? Every module is given to a team and they ask you to develop this, and your team leader will take care. Or you write this code, you write this code, you write this code, will integrate all the things. That's how it will happen. But once all the modules are ready, everything is integrated now. All projects are integrated. After integrating all the projects together, it will become a solution. And from that day onwards, everyone should work with coordination with each other now. Yes or not? Basically, what we do is we put our code first on a centralized location called as GitHub. It is going to be placed on a central repository called as GitHub. Earlier, Visual Studio has a tool called as VSS, Visual Source Safe. We used to put the code under that, but today all these tools are outdated, and throughout the world, everyone is using the same tool here, basically called as GitHub. Okay, you have articles in the YouTube to just learn about GitHub. You can create a free account and you can store the contents there. Like a lot of storage they provide you. Basically, they'll give you initially minimum storage. You can purchase and enhance the storage, just like Google Storage. You have GitHub. You can just post your particular code in the GitHub basically. Microsoft even posts everything on the GitHub only. So every company will have a GitHub account, and we post all the code in the central repository called as the GitHub. And after posting on the GitHub, okay, from GitHub, we'll download the code. They'll post off on the server now. And what will they say? For all the developers, will say, all of you get the latest from the GitHub now. So I get the latest code now. After getting the latest code, everyone will have. See, same person will not work on, multiple persons will not work on the same class. Generally, that won't happen. If it happens also, then there should be partial classes. We learned about it. But minimum, we don't do this in the real time here. We don't do this. Always confusion. When I give it to my developers, when I say some tasks to my developers, my company also, number of developers work under me. When I just give a task to my developers also, I try to just separate it. You write this code, you write this code. So everyone will be working at separate classes now. Are you getting my point? End of the day, all these people should check in the code into GitHub. You have written some code now, you made some modification. First, you're required to get the latest. Before you start, get the latest. So what will happen? First, whatever is present on the server will come onto your system. Everything is up to date now. Now you are making some changes in a particular project or a particular file. You make your changes, compile it, build it. Finally, once you are done, end of the day, you need to push your code back into GitHub. Are you clearer or not? The code is pushed back into GitHub now. So once everyone means, in a project, client is asking for a change. With a major change, 2 or 3 programmers we assign. With a minor change, I give the task to one developer, you do the appropriate change. He's making the change. He's taking the ownership now. He's making the change. End of the day, the changes are pushed back to GitHub. And for working with GitHub, we have separate tools now. We will install those tools and work. And once they're uploaded to GitHub, you can simply come to Azure. GitHub is connected to Azure. GitHub is connected to Azure. We come to Azure and publish. And once we publish, the modified code will be republished back, and you can see the changes back in the site. So that will be the process. So all will have one central repository where the code will be put. Same like, yeah, it's exactly Visual Studio SourceSafe. Long back, earlier, this SourceSafe is not there today, but SourceSafe is the same thing what we have. Unity framework. Unity framework is also for, actually, Unity framework is also for building dependency injection based applications only. Unity framework is also for building dependency injection based applications only. .NET Core, Microsoft has given a built-in support for dependency injection. But before .NET Core, dependency injection support is not there. You remember in the classroom I said here, watch it, we have a built-in support. No need to write anything directly. We can just take the support of the inbuilt what is it? IoT container, inversion of control, IOC container, and write up the code. But when this IOC container is not available at that time, Microsoft has given us a concept called Unity framework for implementing dependency injection. Very complicated coding. Very complicated coding. This is what the Unity framework is. Using Unity framework, dependency injection should be developed. What is singleton, add transient, and add scope? I already explained you, Hussein Basha. Do you want it again? Already we talked 10-15 minutes back. Add singleton means one object for all the clients. One object is created for all the clients. Add transient. One object for each request, each method call in each request. Each method call in each request means you are calling add. You are calling add method. Add will call display. Add will call add student. Will call display student. How many method calls? Two. One is add student. One is display student. You understand now? These two calls requires two objects now. These two calls requires two objects. Transient in simple words. Understand? A single call. Simple English, man. A single call. Add scoped. What is add scope? In one request, you have one method call, or you have n method calls. All are processed by using one object. That is called add scoped. Do we need C# for developing logical apps in Azure? Not required. Not required. You don't require this. And all of you, it will be an added advantage initially, immediately not required. Immediately not required. It's an added advantage for you guys if at all you go with Azure certification. It will be an added advantage if you go with an Azure certification. Earlier we used to have .NET certification, but today .NET certification is not there at all. But when we came for desktop applications, we used to write certification courses. For web application, we used to write certification courses. And today these certifications are not at all going to be important at all. Azure, working with Azure. In YouTube, guys, you have a lot of articles that are available for Azure. Azure, basically, for all you want to go with Azure, first you require to write a fundamental exam called AG900. AG900. This is a basic first. Afterwards, you can go into DevOps, Azure Admin. Different options are there. No need all these particular things, but AG900, it's a basic paper. If at all you want to know about Azure, AG900. In YouTube, guys, hundreds of articles are available. Videos are available for you to just understand and write the AG900 exam with a lot of dumps. You cannot, if you can invest now, write it because the paper cost is 4,000 rupees. You know, to attend for it, it is 4,000. That's what I'm telling you. Initially not required for you, but going forward, writing this will be an added advantage for you to learn more about Azure. Okay? And to learn Azure, you don't require C# here. You don't require. If it experience, then how I get fake experience? What is your question? If it experience, then how do I get fake experience? I don't know how do you get fake experience. I don't entertain it first. Okay. So if you are going to try for a fake experience, try, but I don't know how we'll provide that particular thing because I don't entertain those type of things. I always say to everyone, be genuine. Be genuine. See, clearly tell, you have a back, you have your some break in your career. And even though you have break in your particular career, if you are good in subject, companies will take you. Not like big companies, but small companies. You know one thing? You will never learn subject in the big companies. If you want to be a good programmer, always start with small companies on. Don't go to MNC first. When you should go to MNC, you have already 5 or 6 years of experience, good knowledge, then go to MNC. MNC will teach you process. How to develop, how to do, what are the stages, life cycle stages. If you go to small company, low life cycle stages, nothing here. Everyone will do everything now. You're a developer, you will be doing UI coding also, you will be doing HTML coding, you'll be doing C# coding, you'll be writing database process. But when you go to big companies, it will be not like this. It will be not like this. You want a procedure, you're required to put a request to database admins now. And the database developers will be writing the procedure code. We'll ask you your details, and they'll give you a time frame. This is a time frame what is required. See, to do a small task in a MNC, it's a big process. The same task in a normal company will do in 4 or 5 hours. The same task, if you go to MNC, they will give you 50 hours. 50 hours. In a small company, 4 to 5 hours, they'll do all the work. But MNC will ask you for 50 hours. Why? It's a process. For everything, they should get approval. For everything, they should get approval. Recently, in our company, we have our applications are SAP, mainly our backend is SAP. We are front-end, we design by using .NET, but a backend is SAP. They're enhancing this SAP. We don't know what is it, but they're enhancing SAP. And for that, there is a direct integration, collaboration for us with the SAP company only, with SAP only. Whatever we work, whatever we ask them, in this website, they used to provide us services, APIs. We used to call the APIs. This API is not getting correctly, I want an extra parameter in the API. If I ask for an extra parameter, if you ask for a normal developer, extra parameter, adding a parameter, how simple you are to add a parameter. But they used to tell, you want to add a parameter now? We need 20 hours of time for that. Just for adding an extra parameter there, that's all. They should get an approval. They should prepare a document, send it for approval. They should get the approval. They need a modification process. So when you go with a big company, going forward in the career, that will be an advantage. If you go with a big company in the starting stages, you will know the process, but you will be not having any good knowledge on the subject. You want to have good knowledge on the subject, always start with small company where process is not going to be followed. Going forward, change yourself. Once with this experience, you can easily jump to a big company now. So that's what. So what type of authentication is used in your project? What type of authentication? 90% of your applications are forms authentication only. 90% of the applications are forms authentication. So you can clearly say what is it? We have implemented forms authentication in the application if you worked. Okay. But I have the knowledge to implement open authentication like Facebook as well as Google. I practically shown you how to open this one also. For forms authentication also, 2 options I shown you. In MVC file, manual coding. In MVC code, what? Identity framework. We can just take the help of the identity framework now. In MVC 5, I did not show you identity framework. I created my own model classes. I designed my own UIs. I created the table and I showed you how to do a login by using that, by writing a authentication filter. Yes or not? But in MVC core, I did not show you like that. What did I use? Identity framework. Everything is built in and we'll just use it that one right now. The company said there is a 3 months training period or probation period. So my question is, what type of task they are going to give the fresher? They don't give any task here. What type of task? What will they give? How can I say here? This is a funny question I get from many people. Sir, I'm going for interview. What questions are asked? If I know the questions, all my students get placed in the. See, what questions will they ask? How can I say? There are no standards. See, when you're writing your examinations, like in your school days and graduations and all, you're poor in the subject, you will go and ask your HOD, sir, what should I prepare? Array, prepare these chapters, minimum 40 marks you'll get and pass up the exam now. It's not like this here. What questions will be asked? The person who is taking the interview to you, how do I know on what he is professional? He's good in database programming. He'll ask all questions on database only. He's good in object-oriented programming. He'll ask all his questions on database program on object-oriented programming. He's good in web designing. He'll ask you questions on web designing now. So there are no standards to tell you. Okay. So what tasks are they going to give you first, miss? They'll give you some simple scenarios to you, like create a form, perform the user and perform the cloud operations. These type of tasks will be given to you, and you should do that and show them. If they satisfy for you, it continues. Or if they feel like you're unfit, your probation will be cancelled up there and you will be sent out. So this 3 months, you can just online videos are there, articles are there, go to YouTube or go to Google. For everything, you have a lot of sample codes available. You start and you have a lot of sample codes that are available. Just use that sample code in your application. Need of dependency injection. Easy switching. That's what practically I showed you that only. Easy switching from one to the other. Not only in case of database. Database is an example I said to you. In different scenarios, easy switching from one to the other. That's why we use dependency injection. In real-time client project, how to proceed with the given user story. I did not understand your question. How to proceed in the sense? If you already have you have working experience. That's why you're talking about user stories and all. Because this is the terminology what we use in the industry. If you have working experience and you just go the requirement, the user story is basically about the requirement. And based on the requirement, you're required to act upon it. Convert any text message from one language to another language, just like text to voice. Is there any built-in function? Text to voice, we have tools here. In C# also, we have tools. Speech recognition or something. We have tools, man. Text to speech in C#. Yeah, speech synthesizer. There's a class called speech synthesizer. See, if you give text, it will speak. How to convert texting to speech sound. There's a class called speech synthesizer, and that class can do the work for you. Is the class. Speech synthesizer.speak. It will speak now. It will speak. It will directly give you. Direct classes are available in C#. Speech synthesizer is one of the class what is available for you in the system.speech.synthesize namespace. You can use that and you can just go for converting the text to speech. Articles are available. You can see how to convert texting to speech sound. The class name is speech synthesizer. Both are there. both. You want to convert speech to text, for that also classes are there, sets. Web API and REST. Yeah, guys, what's the difference between Web API and REST? What's the difference between Web API and REST? Web API is a mechanism to build REST. Web API is a technology to build REST services. What we discussed first, we have XML web services. XML web services are replaced with REST services. Drawbacks in the XML services replaced with REST. If at all you want to build a REST service, Microsoft given us a technology called as Web API. Web API is a technology for building a REST service. Not only Web API, you can build it by using WCF also. But coding is going to be complicated. With the WCF also, we can create a REST service. Web API also can create a REST service. The technology is to build the REST services. After learning this .NET further, what technologies can we learn in further along with this, sir? First, become expert in .NET here. Then think about learning other technologies. Don't put your foot on multiple boats. Multiple times I'm telling you to all. Don't try to jump up into multiple technologies. If you're experienced, then you learn what it required for you in your career. But as a fresher, stick to the fundamentals first. Stick to the basics. Become expert in the subject first. What you learn. C#. Are you doing C# first? Are you 100% perfect? If I give you a task, can you write the code? That is what. First, become expert in that. Once you become an expert in that first, afterwards, then only think about learning about other technologies. So don't go off with multiple languages and multiple technologies. That's wrong. One fine day, if you learn all these things, you will go into mental hospital only. Really, learning all these things, you become mad. It's an ocean here. C# is only an ocean. I said you already in the classroom. I know only 20% in C#. It's an ocean here. I don't know 80%. Then how here? Google, that's all. I want something. My requirement, client comes with the requirement. Just Google. Google, you'll find the samples. You know how to use a class. You know how to call a method. You know that now. Take the help of some predefined classes. What methods are there? Just explore them. And you need to use them. That's all. ML models. What is it? ML models. When we write code in ASP.NET Core or Web API, then API can use Linux OS. Yes, you can. You can run on the Linux OS. I showed you also from the command prompt, you can just run .NET run, and you can just run your project. Go to the project folder and simply say .NET run. It'll run you. Nowadays, it's mandatory to work in .NET Core. Is it sufficient for MVC? As of now, MVC 5 is sufficient. As of now, MVC 5 is sufficient. But tomorrow, if the client comes with a requirement, a new client coming with a requirement, .NET Core, what will you do then? See, that only said you. Existing projects, all are MVC 5. But when they start with new projects, that is going to be the latest advance now. What is it? We'll just go with the .NET Core. Because after some point of time, framework will be removed off in the market. What will be present is only core now. Then old application migration will be tough. So that's why all new applications, what they are planning to build now, they are starting to build with the .NET Core only. Did you get my point or not? Say, we have a new client, guys. Is a club, USGA. Is a club, very big club in US right now. Golf club. Golf is the richest sport. It's a costly sport first. It is a costly sport. Markets, Tiger Woods. Not Tiger Woods here, one of the richest player in the world. He is the richest player than Messi and all. Even as Sachin Tendulkar and all, he is the richest player. Tiger basically plays golf. Golf is a very costly sport. It's a site, USGS site, basically golf club site actually. The site is built with web forms. This complete site is built with web forms. We got a contract now. Discussions are going on with our company right now. They want to convert this into MVC, and that too, they're asking to build in .NET Core 6. .NET Core 6. They came out with the .NET Core 6, and I suggested, why .NET Core 6? Why don't we go with the .NET 7 directly? Discussions are going on. Projects won't come up immediately. A lot of things will be there. Here. We give our quotations, pricing and all. They should agree with it. A lot of discussions, time frames, a lot of things will be there. To get a project only, it will take for 6 months of negotiations happening between the companies. And everything's materialized, we get it. If we get the contract, we are going to build this particular project going forward with the .NET Core MVC. This project, right now, this complete project is running on VB and web forms. VB.NET coding, web forms. And now they wanted to be converting everything into C# and .NET Core. Their current client right now. The negotiation happening. Our current client is brother.com. Brother-USA is a printer company here. This one. Brother-USA. It's a big printer company, which will be selling printers and all. Company actually started in Japan. It's a Japan-based company, but popular today in US. So currently, this is our client, and this is the next. We are having negotiations with them right now. If everything is utilized, it's a very big project. The project size, you understand, the project size will be heavy recruitment in the companies first, with a minimum another 50 to 60 people. With the coming next 5 to 6 years, our company doesn't require to look at any other client also. That much big contract it is. Should be materialized. But now that's what I'm telling you. They're changing, they're enhancing, they're asking in .NET Core now. So knowledge of MVC file is enough. But going forward, you want to sustain in the market, knowledge on .NET Core is also very, very important. Okay. So first be 100% within MVC5 first. Practice MVC5. But 100% within MVC5. Then start with the core. But first focus, give it on MVC5 interview point of view. Okay. So you can just answer, I am aware of core. I learned it, but I'm not that good on the core, but I'm good in MVC5. Difference between MVC and web forms. These are two different architectures for developing the application. Here, we'll have what? Controllers, views, models, 3 different components will be there. But in web forms here, it is a page-based architecture. Means file-based. Every page is one file. That is only controller, that is only model, that is only view. Everything will be in that only. It is somewhat like, if at all you people learn Windows Forms, it will be something like a Windows Forms type application. Everything will be one single unit. Every page is a controller on itself. Every page is a view, and every page is a not a model, controller and view. But here controllers are separate, views are separate. But there, the same page is a controller, the same page is a view. The extension will be .aspx. I said you also. ASPX is the extension. That is only controller and that is only view. Both will be. Okay. Means if 100 pages, 100 pages have 100 controllers now. But it's not the same case in MVC. We will not have that many. One controller, multiple views. Not 100 controllers, but a few controllers, 5, 6 controllers, and remaining all views will be there. 100 views can be there, but controllers won't be 100 now. So limited number of controllers, but there every page is a controller of itself. At present, my project code is written in .NET 5. Can I migrate to latest version or not? You cannot migrate. You're required to rewrite. Is a question, and did you understand this question? The question is, at present, my project code is written in .NET 4.5. Can I migrate to latest version or not? You want to migrate to .NET 4.8, you can migrate. But you want to migrate to .NET Core? No. You need to rewrite. You cannot migrate. Do you understand me? If you want code miss, you're required to rewrite your code. One thing is copy pasting can be done here, but completely you're required to take a new project and copy all the code here and make the necessary changes compatible to the latest version and run it. But directly want to run the same thing in the .NET Core, sir, not possible. It won't run. That is why I'm telling you. Going forward, every company will have huge requirements on .NET. Reason is all the old framework projects should be converted into core projects. They need to convert all the framework projects back into the core projects. So we're having a heavy requirement now. Once if Microsoft officially announced a date, they did not still officially announce any date. If they officially announced a date, like 2030 will be the last date for a .NET framework. Immediately, all the companies will start converting their applications into .NET Core. That is not there. At least, yeah, you can migrate to 4.8.1. That is possible here. Within framework, you can do. Only problem is you cannot convert from framework to core. What is easy learning? Web forms or MVC? That depends upon person to person here, which phone you like, iPhone or Android. My choice is different, your choice is different. Okay, so don't compare. I feel MVC is easy. Someone may feel web forms may be easy. That depends upon our learning ability. Okay, so I don't say this is easier, this is easier. If you are good, both are easier. I say both are easier because I worked on both the two things now. I have 10 to 15 years of experience in teaching both the two things. Both are easier for me. But I cannot expect the same thing from my student also now. Okay? So that's why. It depends upon your ability, how you're learning. And guys, I have some articles, I have some PDF document on preparing the resume. I'll post in your Google Classrooms. Go through that, how to prepare a resume. What should be present, what should not be present. And how you need to present yourself in interviews. How you should be present in interviews. I'll post it actually. I said in the morning here, it's not in this system, it's in the world system. The world system is under classroom. The morning I'll post it. Okay, morning my class is in another room. Here I have that PDF file, resume preparation document. I'll put that particular resume preparation document for you in that. So first thing is, please send me Google Classroom link. I'm unable to open it. Are you first added in the Google Classroom? If you are not added in the Google Classroom, contact your admin, please. I cannot add you. That's not, I cannot add. If you're added, anyone can open. Maybe you're not added, just please contact the admin for getting added. Okay? But they only have to add it. I don't have the interface to add. They should add it. So just ask him. Yeah, just go through the particular document, understand. Resume preparation, that's a very important thing. Even not only that, I think in Naresh YouTube channel also, they have posted videos on that about resume preparation. Check it out once. I think there are videos on resume preparation in Naresh YouTube channel also. Okay, I'll put the document also. What you should write, what you should not write. Many of you, I'll tell you a simple example. Hobbies. Many of the people watching movies. Do you know you're portraying your character good? You're portraying your character as a lazy fellow here. Watching movies, I enjoy watching movies. Yes, you just try to sit and watch the movies. You say playing games, that will give you a good impression. But watching movies, watching TVs is a bad impression. It will give you a very bad impression. Okay? Strengths, weaknesses, strengths, everyone is hardworking. But you know that writing that in the weakness is an advantage, you know. Writing hardworking as a weakness is portraying your character more better now. Did you catch my point or not? Strength is hardworking. No, not strength. Weakness is hardworking. So that you're portraying your character very excellent now. Why? Yeah, I'm a hardworking, that's my weakness. So what I'm trying to say, I won't give you the work without it is completed now. Are you getting me? Everyone will write, everyone will say hardworking. But until you go into the job now, we come to know you're hardworking or not. Copying and putting someone's resume is not the thing now. Okay, that also. Expressing and presenting yourself. That's what the skills you require to have. That's what resume preparation. Just watch YouTube also. So many videos are there. What you should put, what you should not put. All these things you should go through them carefully. Collections and generic collections. What you're asking, you want to know the difference, huh? Or are you asking important or not? Hussein, you're trying to ask it is important, or you're trying to ask the difference between them? Migrate means? Yeah, you open the project and you can simply change up the runtime there. That's all. Where C sharp. C sharp we did not learn this one. Okay. That is easy, guys. You create a project. See there, I'm creating a new project. We'll go with a .NET framework project here. Let me select console. Going with .NET framework. Here, when I'm creating the project, I'm selecting 4.5 now. 4.5 is out of support. I'm selecting 4.5 or 4.6 now. I'm selecting 4.6. Create. Downgrading is a problem. Upgrading is not a problem. Downgrading is problem. You're developing 4.8, you want to change to 4.6 now. Features of 4.8 may not be supported in 4.6. But you're developing 4.6 and now you're going to 4.8. What is the problem? All the features of 4.6 will be available in 4.8 also now. Yes or not? Okay. So now you're developing 4.6 now. Now tomorrow you want them to be in 4.8 now. Simple. Go to project properties. In the project properties, you can change out the framework runtime version here. .1. It tells you changing the target framework requires the current project to be closed and reopened. Any unsaved changes in the project will be automatically saved. Don't worry. Changing target framework may require manual modification of project files in order to build. It is telling you maybe some changes may require to you. Check it out. Okay, compulsory changes may require. Are you sure? Yes, I'm changing the framework. So once it closes, reloads the project again. And now if you build it, it's a 4.8.1 assembly now. Upgrading is not a problem. When the problem comes is downgrading. Today I'll use a feature of 4.8 now. Tomorrow I'm downgrading to 4.6 now. That feature may not work there. But 99% of the features in 4.6 will work in 4.8. Sir, 1% guarantee is not there. Reason, some feature in 4.6 is deprecated. Deprecated means removed off. Completely removed off can happen here. That's what I'm telling you. Very least chances, 1% chances. Some feature they found it going to be very dangerous and they removed off in 4.8 now. It is available in 4.6, but that was changed and removed in 4.8. Now, when you're changing 4.6 to 4.8, that type of code can give you error. But I'm telling you now, rare cases. That happens only in the rare cases, but not going to be. But downsizing will always give you an error. How can I get a job easily? You need some references, man. You need some references to get the job. It's not such easy to get off a job. You need some resumes. There is separate coding for that to make your assemblies as new gets. We know the just it's not like 1 or 2 sessions, 1 or 2 minutes to explain you. There is a complete different process to convert our assemblies to NuGet. You can find the articles in the YouTube. It's a big story. We need to just do lots of things to convert them into NuGets. I too don't remember all the namespaces here. Why you worry? Google, man, Google. No one knows all these things. I'm telling you, no one knows all the things. Even you would think like even anyone from Microsoft can tell you all the namespaces. They too cannot tell. Who remembers, man? No one remembers all these things. That's all unnecessary. See, if you tell about a class, they'll ask you, tell me the namespace. They won't ask you a question to tell me all the namespaces. You tell, I used SQL connection class. Then they'll ask you, SQL connection class you use, where is that class first? That type of question will ask you. They won't ask you, tell me the list of all the namespaces in .NET now. Who knows? No one can tell. Okay, that type of question won't be asked. Tell me the question correctly first. What did they ask you? When you talk about a class, they can ask you about the namespace. But without you talking about, they may ask you, what is a namespace? But they don't ask you, how many namespaces are there? The question can be, what is a namespace? What is a namespace? A namespace is a logical container used for grouping the types inside of an assembly. An assembly can contain 1 or more namespaces. The best example you can give is system.data.dll. You learned under that we have system.data, system.data.odbc, system.data.oldb, system.data.sql client. Yes or not? All these are the various namespaces what we come across in it. Additional functionality as to know is how to check which functionality is added when compared with old version. You need to read the documentation, that's all. You need to read the documentation. They provide a documentation. Microsoft is giving a new version now. They'll provide you an official documentation like what is new in this. Okay. So you cannot directly see or look into the code. Just we require to check it out about it. Suppose I want to know what is new in C#7. Our next upcoming version is C#8, not officially launched. What is new in C#? Sorry, not 8 and all. 11. The next upcoming version will be 12. What's new in C#11? If I say what's new in C#11, see that Microsoft, from the Microsoft, there is a detailed guide telling you the list of all the features that came into picture in the C#11. So this is only what I do. If tomorrow C#10 is coming, how do I learn? I'll just go refer to the Microsoft website. What is new in 12.0? How much is it important for a developer? And those things I will explain you in the classroom. That's it. Everyone should learn like this only. Difference between in Web Garden, we don't have number of projects here. Understand the work process, Web Garden. You're asking about application pool. You're asking about Web Garden. First, listen. You created a new website. You created a new site. When you create a new site, every site will be having an application pool now. Every site will be having an application pool. Okay. So mostly all the sites are going to have an application pool, and every application pool will have a worker process. That is compulsory. Every site will have an application pool. Every application will have a worker process. Now you have heavy load. You have heavy load on that. All the load managed by one worker process now. One worker process. In that scenarios, they go for using the concept of the web garden, create multiple worker process. So each worker process will be taking the request from the clients now. So two worker processes are there. One worker process is going to give some request, and the worker process will be taking you some request. So we are distributing the load between the worker process. We are distributing the load between the worker process basically. So that is the ideology of the worker process. See, I should go with web form architecture, but I cannot afford. Web form is multiple servers. I cannot afford for multiple servers. So when you cannot afford for multiple servers, the second cheapest option what is available is create a web garden, add another worker process, add another worker process. Like this, you can add multiple worker process there. That's it. Am I clear? Okay. So worker process is to, you're increasing the manpower here. In a classroom, there are 100 students. The whole 100 students are going to be controlled by one teacher in an examination. It will be becoming high tough for the teacher to handle it now. So now I went to the principal and said, once one teacher cannot handle all the 100 students to write the exams. So now the principal has sent you another teacher now. Now two teachers are there who are handling the students. So the worker process creation is also same only. One application tool, multiple worker process. One classroom, multiple teachers. Where every teacher will be, one teacher will take care of 50 students now, and one teacher will take care of 50 students now. So here also incoming request. Some requests will come to worker process 1, some requests will come to worker process 2. That's how you can differentiate. Okay. So load will be decreased. That's it. So you can improvise the performance, but not as much as a web form. But web form is costly. Why? You need a proxy server. You need extra proxy server also now. You have one more server that is costly. To take the incoming request, you need a proxy server. So totally minimum 3 machines are required now. One proxy and 2 server computers. It's a costly one. So if you cannot invest on that, then go with easiest or simple option, web garden. But it won't give you 100% performance like a web form architecture. But okay, well and good. Some temporary solution. Okay. Additional functionality as to your version, how to check it. In a community, if you want issues to post, yeah, the community now. See, whenever you search for a problem, whenever you search for any problem, the first thing that comes to you is the Stack Overflow. That is only the community. You post your questions and get the responses. Remember this, guys. Anytime you search for anything, the first thing you will see is Stack Overflow. The Stack Overflow is a community where people can post their questions and get the responses. Okay. So just to try to register yourself in the Stack Overflow. You can put your questions there. You'll get the responses. Tomorrow, someone put the question. If you feel you know, you can respond to it. Sharing so that you can improvise your knowledge. This is one of the most popular community where you can get some qualified, verified answers also for all your problems. Stack Overflow. 90% problems will solve there only. That many number of solutions will get up there. Dispose and finalizer. Finalizer is writing your own method. Finalizer is basically writing your own destructor method. Just like you write a constructor method, you write your own destructor method. Dispose is something which is defined in all the predefined classes. All the predefined classes is a method, and runtime will call this method to release the resources. When you write, you will be writing a finalizer. For all the predefined classes, you will find this method called as dispose method. So this dispose method is called by the runtime to release the resources. But when you write, we don't write dispose. What we write? Finalizer is what we write. For built-in classes, this method will be available. Dispose method will be available. Anything else? Anything else? Any doubts anywhere? Online students. Okay, if you have any doubts still, you can ping me on my WhatsApp. Don't call me, please. Just ping me with your questions. I'll respond when I find the time. Okay. And some of the people are just sending me code and say, this is a project, this is my project, just help me. I don't have time to eat and sleep, guys. I cannot look into your projects. My schedule is hectic. Now 1 o'clock I go from here, I need to take my lunch. Again, I need to go to my office at 2 o'clock. My office is until 11 o'clock. At 11. Why that much hectic schedule? Learn, yeah, learn a lot. See, teaching while working is a different experience. I can give you the real-time scenarios. Earlier, I don't have a working experience. When I'm teaching there, I can tell you the subject, but I cannot tell you the real-time scenarios. But now I'm able to tell you the real-time scenarios. That gives me a lot of confidence for my teaching only. Okay, so that's it. I don't feel hectic, but my schedules are very busy. Sir, I have a project. Please help me in the project. I don't have that much time first. Okay. You have any questions, any doubts with any of the topics up to that extent, I can help you. But directly, people are sending code and asking, sir, look into the code and tell me what should I do. I can't help. I don't have that much time. Okay. My schedule is very busy. And on Saturdays, some of the people are Saturday, Sunday. If I don't spend with my family, they'll kick me out of the house now. Okay. So that Saturday, Sunday is completely reserved my family. Afternoon 1 o'clock, I spend only with my family. So that 1 and a half day, I completely dedicate with my family, going out with them and spending time with them. So I need to give time for them. Earning is not important now if I don't give time to them. So that's what. So my schedule is very busy, guys. If your question, I will respond to it sometime. I'll respond to it sometime. Cannot expect immediate response also. So that's my problem. But I will try to. I'll try to respond to you with my answers back. Okay, you can ping me on my WhatsApp. Okay, guys. If you don't have any questions, let's wind up here. Okay, and all the best and a smooth success. And just telling you that's all. Be confident on yourself first. You lack the confidence. If you lack your confidence, you're degrading yourself first. Okay, so have good confidence on you, but don't make it overconfidence. Confidence is important, not the overconfidence. Okay. So when you tell an answer, be confident. You're right. Again, I think so. I'm thinking like, don't give it. Yeah, confidently give it. If you know it is right, stick on to that. Sometimes I can ask you, are you sure? Then again, don't change your answer. When you know, don't change your answer. Okay. That is what they will try to set just your confidence levels also. So that is also important. Okay. So wishing you all a sure success in your careers. All the best, guys.